Batting first will be number 3, shortstop, Peyton Cooper. Batting second will be number 6, left fielder, Cole Shipley. Batting third, wearing number 24, catcher, Tank Sims. Batting fifth, wearing number 9, and pitching will be Nelson Hoover. Batting sixth, wearing number 33, Riley Summers. Batting seventh, wearing number 12, third baseman, Jaden Barrett. Batting eighth, wearing number 4, second baseman, Landon Montgomery. Batting ninth, number 19, Ethan Tuma. And rounding out the squad is number 00, Nathan. Second, left fielder Rylan Mitchell. Batting third, shortstop, Caden Cloud. Batting seventh, catcher, Gary Oath. Batting eighth, third baseman, Broden Mabe. Batting ninth, second baseman, Colin Hussery. And the pitcher will be Gavin Kranz.
Hi and welcome Nixa fans. We've got a doubleheader today for the Nixa Eagles. They come in at 24-6 on the year. We're getting started here. Gavin Kranz is on the mound for the first game against the West Plains. In this one, as they'll be getting ready, like I mentioned, have a doubleheader. We had a couple of rainouts and some schedule changes this week, so we got a doubleheader for you here today. My name is Eli Dean. Aiden Hopkins doing Aiden Hopkins. Shortly, we wish him the best. Gavin Kranz, like I mentioned, on the mound for this first game, was running a little bit late here. The previous game between the Zizzers and then the Marshfield Blue Jays ran a little bit late, so we canceled a lot of the pregame festivities you'd normally see. So we'll be getting ready here for you here very shortly. One of the big things, the Eagles come in at 24-6 on the year. Zizzers having a little bit less successful of a season, coming in at 15-10, but still have a really good shot at making their district tournament. For the West Plains Zizzers, it'll be Peyton Cooper, the shortstop, leading off here today. Then Cole Shipley out and left. Tank Simmons behind the plate catching today. And he'll be catching for Nelson Hoover, who's the pitcher today. Ryan Kinslow batting fourth, and then Hoover on the mound and in the box today. And then we got Riley Summers at first base. Jaden Barrett at third, Landon Montgomery out in second, and then Ethan Tuma batting. He'll be in right field, but he's not batting today. It'll be Nathan Smith as the designated hitter. So Garrett Goff behind the plate for the Eagles today. Jack Edwards
leading off for the Zizzers
as the designated hitter, and now Peyton Cooper will get himself up to the plate here. No scoreboard today as well, but I'll keep you updated throughout this one. 81 degrees here at first pitch at 2:23, and the first pitch from Kranz is going to be inside for a strike. It'll be inside that strike zone on the outside corner. That seems like one of the things that the Blue Jays and the Zizzers really attacked, was that outside corner throughout both of those games. So you'll see if Gavin Kranz continues that rate. And the 0-1's going to be outside, but a little bit high for a ball, so Cooper will have himself an even 1-1 count now. Nixa defensively, it's almost just like every other game, nothing too crazy. And that 1-1's going to be outside for a ball as well. Dernberger in right, Vincent in center, Rylan Michelle out in left, and then you got Cloud and Ussery covering the infield, and Mabe and Grant on the corners. And as I mentioned, Garrick Oaf catching for Gavin Kranz today. Kranz has got himself down in the hole on a 2-1, but he fires that one, and that one will be outside again for a ball. So Cooper, after that first pitch strike, has been able to watch 3 straight outside pitches go in for balls, and one of the big things is just trying to see and gain command here. There weren't quite a lot of clouds a couple hours ago, but nothing much, as that one's going to be a ground ball. Nice job by Mame to scoop that one up, and he's going to fire to Tanner Grant to get the first out of this game so far. And so now Cole Shipley, the left fielder, will come up to the plate.
Number 6, Cole Shipley.
West Plains was able to have a really successful first game. They were able to put themselves on the board late in those last couple innings. That'll be something they try to kind of flip the script on in this one, hoping to score runs early against Gavin Kranz. They won their game against Marshfield 12-6, but it was aided by a 5-run 7th inning. That just kind of shows you how much they scored. 4 in the 6th, and then 5 in that 7th inning to really put that game out of reach. Marshfield had a little bit of a rally in the bottom of the 6th inning. We were able to cut it to a 7-6 game, but pitching wasn't able to hold on, and so that one falls in for a ball. So it'll be a 1-1 count now to Cole Shipley. Kranz has had himself a pretty solid year. He's came in as a starter. He's came in relief. Recently came in to relief on senior night, and that one's a ball. He only pitched that last inning of that game, so they're letting him back out here today. Enfield's playing about fairly deep. Third base side is playing a little bit shallow, but everybody else kind of playing him to pull on that third base side, and so the 2-1's going to be high for a ball. So once again, Kranz has himself a 3-1 count within 2 batters in this game. And that'll be something he tries to limit. So it looks like there's kind of already not some serious action in the bullpen, just kind of tossing around. So Kranz might not be expected to last a whole lot longer in this game, considering he pitched a couple days ago, as that 3-1's high as well for a ball. And so Cole Shipley will get on base with a walk, and now it's the catcher, Tank Simmons, up to the plate.
Coming to the plate, number 24, Tank Sims.
Zizzers are hoping that he's got a tank in him as he bats from that left side. So that kind of moves in some of the outfielders to kind of play it off, expecting him to pull it his way. But they're still playing very deep, left and right. Wyatt Vincent out in center, kind of playing shallow where he's normally at. And so the first pitch to Tank is going to fall in there for a strike. Cole Shipley, the left fielder, he walked in his first at-bat, so he's over at first base. For just now joining us, we're from Ralph Eiler Field here in Marshfield, Missouri. It's close to about an hour away, as that one's going to be swung on. That one's going to drop in between the hole between Vincent and Dernberger. They're going to stay. And he's going to go. So Cole Shipley, there's going to be a play at the plate, and it bobbles over. And so after the double, Tank Simmons is able to reach to second base, and the Zizzers have a runner here and a runner on third base after Tank Simmons' RBI double. That ball didn't really travel a whole lot, but it put the ball between Vincent and Dernberger, which is what you're wanting to do there. Nice little job there, but Vincent was able to get onto it. And it might have been a close play, just Oaf misplayed it just a little bit on the hop going in, and that allowed Tank Simmons to advance to third. So the Zizzers have a runner on third base here with 1 out in the inning, and they've already put a run on the board. And that one's going to fall in for a strike to Rylan Kinslow, the center fielder today. Grant and Mabe playing in for a play at the plate. And the 0-1's going to be popped up back behind the screen, and so it'll be an 0-2 count. First chance for Kranz to get a strikeout here, 3 batters into this game. And walks can't hurt you. Cole Shipley scored on the RBI double by Tank Simmons here. Obviously, 1 run in the first inning isn't going to be enough probably for this Nixa offense, as that one is going to be high for a ball, so they'll make it a 1-2 count now. One of the big things for Kranz, I mean, obviously when you're mentioning, you need to throw strikes. Strikes are very important, but just getting the ball in positions where your outfielders can make nice plays. That'll ultimately be the biggest thing here. And he gets him there on the outside corner. Kinslow watches that one go by. So Kranz will have his first K of the game. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up the pitcher, Nelson Hoover, trying to help his own cause here. Hoover standing on the right side. He's got neon green shoes, which isn't normally something you'd see. As he lines that one straight to Caden Cloud. Really solid contact, really fast contact, but Caden Cloud is there. And Hoover will get out on the lineup. But the Zizzers score 1 against Kranz in the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning here. 1-0 West Plains.
Vincent.
Welcome back here. Wyatt Vincent leading off here for the Eagles. Lineup looking about the same as it normally would. Garrick Oaf back in the lineup. He's behind the plate after he suffered an injury in the Columbia tournament last week. First game back in action. And Nelson Hoover's first pitch to Vincent's going to be a ball on the outside, so it'll be a 1-0 count now. And Vincent lines that one straight to Jaden Barrett, the third baseman, who fires it over to Riley Summers. So it'll be Rylan Michelle batting second. Caden Cloud, the shortstop, batting third. Jack Edwards out of the DH. And then it'll be Reese Sternberger in right. Tanner Grant back in as well at second base. And that one's skied pop-up. We'll see if that one stays in play. It will not. So it'll be an 0-2 count early for Rylan Michelle here. Hoover's been able to throw strikes pretty well, and obviously the liner to end the inning had Caden Cloud not been there, that might have been able to score that run from third base, but that one kind of curves in for a ball. So Michelle will get another chance here. It'll be a 1-2 count. Hoover's pitch is low, so the count will be even now at two apiece. Michelle standing in close enough to the plate, gets a 2-2 and whiffs at that one, but he's going to maybe try to run it out, but he will not get there. So Hoover will have his first K of the game.
Now batting number 3, Caden Cloud.
Caden Cloud's looking to do something here to put Jack Edwards up at the plate. Both of these guys high RBI hitters this season. Hoover's done a nice job so far of at least getting swinging strikes and getting the contact that he needs. As that one is gonna, they're gonna say that one bounced. No, they're gonna say it hit Caden Cloud, hitting off the bounce there. So Caden Cloud hit by a pitch. We'll bring up Jack Edwards here.
Now batting number 17, Jack Edwards.
Noticing throughout this that besides the Nixa hitters occasionally having some red on their white cleats, Nelson Hoover is the only one out here on both sides to have a different color than the team. As Edwards is going to pop that one up to the first base side. Weird play, but Riley Summers is able to finally get under that one before it hits the ground, and so that will retire the side for Nixa. So they strand one here. Edwards pops out. Nice job by Nelson Hoover to get those contact pitches, and we'll probably see Gavin Kranz back out there again here for the top of the second inning. Eagles will try 1-0. Riley Summers will get his first chance here for the Zizzers. West Plains up 1-0 here against Gavin Kranz and the Nixa Eagles in the top of the second inning. The first pitch to Summers is going to be outside for a ball. Summers made some nice defensive plays in that last inning. He's looking to get a little bit more on his bat now. And the 1-0 to Summers is going to drop in for a ball. Falls underneath Garrick Oaf's legs there, so it'll be a 2-0 count. For the field, both sides playing 325 left and right, and then 375. Not necessarily dead straight center field, but more like left center and right center at 357. So I can probably assume it's probably close to about 370 straight away. That one falls in for a strike, so Kranz has himself a strike now. It'll be a 2-1. He gets set, kicks, and fires for the 2-1. That one's outside for a ball. So 3-1 now here for Gavin Kranz and the Eagles. As I mentioned, West Plains 15-10 coming into today. Improved that to 16-10. The win over the Marshfield Blue Jays, which we'll be playing here later at the conclusion of this one. As that one's lined high enough but shallow for Reese Sternberger to go over into right center field and make that catch. So Summers will fly out, so Jaden Barrett will come up to the plate.
12, Jaden Barrett.
Barron's the third baseman now. Batting out of the 7th spot, we'll see Landon Montgomery on deck here in this inning. If you're just now joining us, Zizzers up 1-0 after a walk and an RBI double by Tank Simmons, their catcher. And the Eagles went down very quietly in the bottom of the first inning, only getting one runner after hit by pitch. So that first pitch falls in for a strike. Kranz a righty, batting to the righty. And that one's going to be a pop-up, very similar. Dernberger has to come in a little bit farther, but he makes the catch. And so back-to-back flyouts to Reese Dernberger out in right field. And there's 2 outs here for the Zizzers.
Now batting for West Plains, number 4, Landon Montgomery.
You don't see a whole lot of hitters hitting the ball the other way, but West Plains showing that they can do so here. They just haven't been able to put it in a zone where they like it. So now Landon Montgomery, the second baseman, will watch that one fall in just a bit outside. So it'll be a 1-0 count to the second baseman from West Plains. That's from the right side. A lot of these West Plains hitters crowding the plate just a little bit. And the 1-0 is going to be inside for a ball. Crayons might have not liked that call, but doesn't get it. So it'll be a 2-0 now to Montgomery. Eagles looking to continue the trend of giving up a run in the first inning, but then going scoreless the rest of the way. They were able to do so in their last game. Crayons has trouble getting that ball in time, so 3-0 count now. Crayons needs to throw a strike here. And the 3-0 with 2 outs is going to fall in for a strike. As I mentioned, on Wednesday, the Eagles played Carl Junction. They've kind of had a weird schedule this week. So it's supposed to be Tuesday, Thursday. They pushed Carl Junction's game on to Wednesday because of the rain that happened on Thursday. And then Friday, they moved one of the games back as well. So the 3-1 is going to be inside for a ball. So Crayons will let his second base runner via the walk. And so Nathan Smith, the designated hitter, will come up for the Zizzers. But Colin Kelly gave up a run in that first inning against Carl Junction. But the Eagles and Colin Kelly, it was Colin Kelly and Gavin Crayons, the man on the mound today, that were able to shut the door down and go 6 scoreless after that in the 6-1 win over the Bulldogs. And Nathan Smith fouls that one, but it's going to fall into the bullpen area. Rylan Evans trying to avoid that one, tried to catch it with his glove over that side. Nevertheless, it'll be an 0-1 count. Crayons taking his time now with the runner on first base. Deals that one. That one's going to fall in for a strike, so he's got Nathan Smith, 0-0. You don't see very many of those around, but he's got him in the hole on an 0-2 count with 2 outs here. Smith is going to have to swing at something here if he's going to keep this at-bat alive. Crayons sets, nods. The 0-2 is going to be fouled off. These Zizzer hitters getting quite a lot of contact, but haven't been able to put it in the spots where they liked it, besides that Tank Simmons RBI double in that first inning. Crayons getting ready now. Taking his time, checking back on the runner on first base, Montgomery. He gets into his set, and he fires. That one's going to be outside for a ball as well. Scissors hitters being very selective. They have really nice plate discipline here. And that's kind of showed throughout these past 2 games. They were put a 12 spot on the Blue Jays in the game before this. They'll take a break for a little bit. So Crayons gets right, doesn't check on the runner on first base this time. And the 1-2 is going to be outside for a ball. Ove thinks about throwing over, but decides not to there. And so that'll even the count with 2 balls and 2 strikes. And with 2 outs here in the inning, my partner Aiden Hopkins would say, 2s are hot. Runner on first base here with 2 outs for the Zizzers. Crayons gets set, and that one's going to fall in for a base hit. None of the runners will advance, though, so Montgomery stays on second base. Smith is able to put one that just had enough carry, just fell in.
Coming to the plate,
where Vincent Dernberger and the second baseman Ussery were not in that shallow part of the outfield. And so now the lineup will turn over to Peyton Cooper out of the leadoff spot. So the Zizzers have runners at first and second here with 2 outs in the inning after Crayons is able to get back-to-back outs. Looks like a bat was left over on that third base side, so they're going to pick that one up. Cole Shipley, the on-deck hitter for the Scissors, walks over to collect it. So Kranz will have a little bit more time, and he even steps off before he gets set. Trying to figure out what pitch he wants to throw here. Communication between Oaf and Kranz is going to be massive here with a runner in scoring position. Kranz checks back on the runner on second base and fires, and that one's going to be lined. Bullpens are pretty deep, so that one falls in there, but it'll be a strike. Bullpen's kind of set up in a weird spot. You can kind of tell Marshfield didn't used to have bullpens. Both left and center field have kind of a gravelish dirt. So they were able to install one at least for the home side of the field. That one's high. Nearly hits. And now there's going to be a little bit of a protest here. As it looks like they believe that that ball hit off the bat. But they're not going to say anything. So now it'll be a 1-1 count. Logan Hughes, the head coach for the Eagles, thought that ball was hit off the top of Peyton Cooper's bat. But nevertheless, it'll be a 1-1 count. Runners at first and second for the Scissors. That one's going to fall in. Oaf has a hard time getting it, but none of the runners are going to go. And so it'll be a 2-1 count now. Landon Montgomery walked, and he's on second base, and then Nathan Smith, the designated hitter, is on first after the base hit. So Smith on first, Montgomery on second. And Peyton Cooper here trying to add on for the Scissors. He watches that one fall in for a ball on the outside, so it'll be a 3-1. And now you just got to think, you know, he's not fully set yet. We have somebody warming up in that bullpen already, which isn't a good sign here. Maybe not expecting Kranz to go a whole lot today. Like I mentioned, he pitched on Wednesday, which is the last Eagles game, so 3 days rest after an inning of work, as that one falls in for a strike as well. So it'll be a 3-2 count now. Runners will be going here. So Eagles defense trying to get themselves set up. Third baseman Mabe playing to pull and fire to first base or even tag third. The safest play probably would be to throw the first, though. Krenz checks back on the runner at third, and the 3-2 is going to fall in for a ball, and so now the bases will be loaded here for the Scissors. And Colt Shipley, the left fielder who came in to score on the double earlier in this game, will get himself a chance, but Logan Hughes is going to come out and talk to Gavin Kranz. Landon Montgomery on first. Montgomery's on third. Smith is at first, and Peyton Cooper now on third. And one of the big things, Kranz has already walked 3 batters in this game. And with only the 1 strikeout, he's really kind of struggled getting his location set. He's just probably telling him more, be concerned about location. Even with the kind of plays in this game, Peyton Cooper, first 2 batters had 3-1 counts. So it was just a really struggle from the start here for Gavin Kranz to throw some strikes. Hughes gives him a little bit of confidence, though. Gives him a pat on the back here. Kranz kind of warming up that arm, kind of moving around. Getting a little bit in, some stretching here. I just realized that big thing's been all in your way this whole time, so we'll fix that here in a minute. I get the chance here. Might just pull in this whole window. There we go. Window's pulled in now. Didn't realize that. That's my bad today. So the first pitch to Cole Shipley falls in for a strike. Scissors up 1-0 here. They've only collected 1 hit so far in this game, but they've been able to put runners on base in every inning. And that one's going to have weak contact. Going to be a tough play. Takes a weird hop. But Ussery is able to fire it to Tanner Grant to get the third out of this inning. So the Scissors strand 3, and we'll be headed to the bottom of the second inning. Eagles still trying to get that run back, trailing 1-0. Welcome back here. Eagles trying to put themselves back on the board. Trying to even this game up for Eagles. The first pitch to Reese Sternberg out of the 5 spot's going to be swung on and missed for a strike. It'll be Reese, Tanner Grant, and then Garrick Oaf. Had a little bit of substitutions. We'll let you know what exactly that all was, but that one is going to fall in for a strike. Talking to the home plate umpire before this inning started to get something figured out. That might be the end of Gavin Krantz' day after 2 innings, and that one's going to fall in for a ball, so he'll see himself another pitch here. It'll be 1-2.
Nice.
So Dernberger strikes out there.
14, Reese Sternberger. Now coming to the plate is number 16, Tanner Grant.
So Tanner Grant will come to the plate. Dernberger telling the man on deck, Garrick Oaf, something to notice. That one's going to be sharply hit, but the second baseman, Montgomery, makes an easier play. Fires to Riley Summers, the first baseman, and the Eagles quickly now strikeout here. A little bit of symmetry from Nelson Hoover, the pitcher for the Zizzers today. So Garrick Oaf comes up to the plate now. Batting from the right side, hoping to get something on. And just got caught up underneath that runner at third base because Broden Mabe was out during that game. He ended up having to come in later because of a couple other injuries that the Eagles saw. So the 1-1, Oaf swings, grounds that one. It's going to take a nice hop. Jaden Barrett trying to make the throw, but he fires. And so the Eagles go down 1-2-3 here in this inning. It's definitely not when you see down by a run. But the Eagles will trail 1-0 as we head to the third. I'll be right back. New pitcher on the mound here for the Eagles in the top of the third inning. Elijah Adams, the righty, will come in. And he'll face the batter that's given the Eagles the most trouble so far, Tank Simmons. He got himself a double and advanced to third on the first run of this game, the only run so far. And the first pitch of Adams' day to Tank Simmons is going to fall in inside for a ball. Simmons batting from the left side, was able to get one down that right field area. He's looking to have just a little bit more waiting time here. It's a 1-1 count. Adams getting set, and now the 1-1. Hit very far, but foul. down the right field side. Might have just been a little bit early on that one, so it's a long foul ball, but it'll be a 1-2 count now for Adams. Adams trying to get his first K of the day and match Gavin Kranz through 2 innings. Kranz was only able to strike out 1. And the 1-2 to Simmons is outside to even the count now. Joplin so far only with the 2 hits. Sims is, and then Nathan Smith's single that kept that inning alive. He was stranded on second base in the second inning. So the 2-2 to Sims is fouled back to the screen. So we'll do the 2-2 again now. Pryor taking his time, and now he tells Adams he can throw this baseball. Adams picking up where he left off. The 2-2 is going to be fouled off just barely. Nice pitch location from Adams there, but Sims was able to get just on top of it. It's enough to foul it off. So we'll see another 2-2 count here. Sims the leadoff hitter, nobody on base or the Zizzers, and the 2-2 from Adams is going to be fouled down the line once again. First base umpire makes a nice little snag and fires that one in to the Nixa dugout. Now the home plate umpire is going to clean off the plate now, so they're going to just reuse that baseball. Hit off the corner and was able to hop in, so catcher Sims just a little bit early on some of these, and now he gets another chance for a 2-2. Lined, and that one, Vincent is under it, and he'll make the catch. Seemed like it hung up just a little bit. So Sims will fly out to straightaway center field. Maybe a little bit to the left side, but
Up next for the Zizzers,
nevertheless, it'll be 1 out.
Rylan Kinslow.
And now out of the 4 spot, it'll be Ryan Kinslow. He struck out looking to in that inning with 2 outs. So Kinslow struck out looking in the first, and he gets ready and lines that one long but foul down the right field side. Adams coming into this game after Kranz pitched 2 innings. Gave up 2 hits. The biggest thing, though, was he walked 3 and gave up a run. His Hove has to jump up for that one, so it'll even the count at 1-1. Hove is kind of slightly struggling behind the plate, just getting the ball to his pitcher. It's kind of been wild. So West Plains might decide to take advantage of that later with some stolen bases. The 1-1 with 1 out is high. That one's going to drop foul, but a nice job by Tanner Grant to make the catch there. That one is going to be in foul territory no matter what, but Grant able to make an over-the-shoulder catch for out number 2. So the pop out will bring up Nelson Hoover to the plate. Hoover with...
Up next for WP, number 9, Nelson Hoover.
Hoover had a straight line out to Caden Cloud to end that first inning with a runner on third base. As I mentioned earlier, he's got some nice neon cleats. Personality sometimes shows with some cleats, but he's definitely trying to stand out today behind the mound and at the plate. He watches the first one falling for a ball, so now Adams gets set for the 1-0. And the pitch is going to be fouled off directly behind the screen. So it'll even the count now. So now Hoover is going to get ready now for the 1-1 with 2 outs here in the inning. Another foul ball, just tardy. Hoover knows that, kind of shakes his head a little bit. And the umpire's going to hold on to that baseball now, so they're going to get a new 1 out. Adams trying to shut down this Zizzers offense, 1-2-3. And the 1-2 to Hoover with 2 outs is going to be lined, and that one's going to drop in the corner. That one's going to at least be extra bases. Hooper's going to reach to second base on a stand-up double. Oh, no, it's going to be a ground rule double. Hops over the wall out there. He would have made it to second anyways, but Hoover will have himself a double here with 2 outs, and that'll bring Riley Summers up to the plate, looking to add on to this Zizzer lead.
Now batting for West Plains, number 31, Coy Kreitz.
Sometimes a ground rule double can help a defense. Sometimes it can almost hurt. In that instance, it wouldn't have done much. Hoover probably wouldn't have tried to advance to third base on that one. That ball landed in between Ryland Michelle and Wyatt Vincent and left in center field. And so the first pitch to Summers is going to be a ground ball. Cloud fires that one to Tanner Grant at first, and that will end the inning. So the Zizzers strained a runner at second base. Elijah Adams does a nice job at limiting the damage. So we'll head to the bottom of the third. Eagles still trying to look for their first hit today. We'll be right back. Eight, 9, and 1 for the Eagles here in the bottom of the third inning. They trail this one 1-0 against the West Plains Zizzers. My name is Eli Dean, and we got Nelson Hoover back on the mound here for the Zizzers. He's done a nice job limiting damage. Only one base runner by a hit by pitch in that first inning. He was able to shut down Eagles 1-2-3 in the second. Back-to-back pitches on the outside, though, have Broden Mabe, the third baseman, in a 2-0 count right now. Hoover pitching from the left side, kicks, fires, and that one's going to be outside as well. Hoover didn't really like the call there. He was able, done a little bit left. He was stranded on second base in that last inning, and the 3-0 is going to be low for a ball. So Broden Mabe will get himself on first base with leadoff walk. And so now Colin Ustery will come up to the plate.
Colin Ustery.
Ustery trying to be a little more commitment. We talk about how much the Zizzers and playing that second game. They've already played that second game. Eagles got here around 12 o'clock today. And that one's going to fall in. No, it's going to be a ball. So on the outside part, it's been pretty close so far. Both pitchers trying to attack that outside. Eagles have put out two pitchers. Colin Cran started this game with the first two innings. Adams did a nice job in the third. That one falls in for the first strike of the inning for Hoover, so it'll be a 1-1 count now to Colin Ustery. Wyatt Vincent on deck. He grounded out his first at-bat. And so the 1-1 is going to fall in for a strike as well, getting that call on the outside that time. Both teams wearing red jerseys. The only big difference is Nixa has gray pants as opposed to West Plains is white. Both have the red stripes down the middle. Lettering is similar but a little bit different. And that one's going to be swung on and missed from Colin Ustery, as that one's going to be a strikeout. That goes for Hoover's third K of the game. And so now center fielder, top 100 prospect in high school baseball, Wyatt Vincent will come up to the plate now. Wyatt Vincent, mentioned throughout the season, is already committed to Missouri State. And there's some word, maybe not necessarily being draft material right now, as that's the first pickoff attempt from either side. But nothing doing there. Vincent just trying to do what he's done all season. He's a very swing-heavy hitter. He swings mostly at the first pitch, but both at-bats here in this game, he elects to not swing, and it's helped him out for a ball one down in the dirt both times. Ryland Michelle struck out in that first inning. He's on deck. And that one's going to be a bit high for a 2-0 count. Now, Hoover might have lost a little bit of that control he had earlier in this one. Besides the hit by pitch, he had done a really nice job of just limiting base runners, limiting that contact. And Vincent, that one's going to fall underneath the catcher Tank Sims' legs. And so that'll advance Broden Mabe to second base now. So Mabe is at second, representing the tying run for Wyatt Vincent. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Eagles still trying to search for that first hit of the game. But they trail 1-0 here. And the 3-0 is going to fall in for a strike. Hughes telling him to get up there and attack. And Vincent gets a ground ball that will at least advance Broden Mabe. That ball is high, and it falls out of the catcher's glove. And they're going to send. The runner didn't realize that they're going to send him. He pump fakes and doesn't throw, and the Eagles will tie this game up on an unforced error by the first baseman, Riley Summers. Riley Summers had to jump up for that one. It was a bit of a high throw, but he didn't realize that the ball was out of his glove. And by the time he realized it, Broden Mabe was already making his way down the bases. So Vincent, it's a pretty tough call. I'm going to say that's probably an error. But nevertheless, he brings in a run, and the Eagles will tie this game up. And the first pitch to Ryland Michelle is going to be way inside for a ball. I don't know what type of confidence Nelson Hoover is going to have in this one. And Vincent's going to go, but that one's going to be fouled back. Might have been able to make it and try to hit and run situation there, but just fouls it off. But yeah, Peyton Cooper, the shortstop, probably puts an error on his name, just a little bit high of a throw. But the big thing, I'd probably say there's 2 errors in that. Because Riley Summers, the first baseman, just didn't have enough reaction time to realize that Mabe was making his way from third to home. And didn't even try to make a throw either, as that one's going to fall in the dirt for a 2-1 count to Ryland Michelle. So while I'm not the official scorer here, I'd say that's probably roughly 2 errors on the same play. But nevertheless, the Eagles will tie this game up here in the bottom of the 3rd. Michelle lines that one, but that'll be foul, so the count will even itself up at 2-2 here. Wyatt Vincent on first base. Caden Cloud, who was hit by a pitch earlier in this game, is on deck. Hoover checks back on the run on first, and the 2-2 to Michelle is going to be swung on and missed. And Michelle will strike out swinging for the 2nd time here. It's Hoover's 2nd K of the inning and his 4th of the game. And so now Caden Cloud will bat now here with Wyatt Vincent on first base. 2 outs. And this game all tied up now. Umpire gives Nelson Hoover the go-ahead. Hoover checks on Vincent on first, and he's going to go. That one's going to be inside. The throw is not going to be in time. And so Wyatt Vincent will have himself a stolen base, advanced to second on that play. And so now the Eagles will have a 2-out opportunity here with runners in scoring position. Vincent tried to go on a pitch from Ryland Michelle's at bat, but Michelle fouled it off. But he's able to get into second base here with 2 outs. And now Gavin, that one's going to be swung on and missed. So that'll even count with 1-1 now. So that'll give Caden Cloud an opportunity here. Umpire waiting for the go-ahead. Now he gives Hoover the go-ahead. 1-1. Vincent's going again. That pitch is high, and they're not going to even make a throw. So Vincent will have himself a 2nd stolen base. He's able to get to first and third. Almost seems like a Little League type of play there. Able to advance the runner. 2 stolen bases, and now runner is 90 feet away from giving the Eagles the lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. Caden Cloud gets ready, swings and misses. So there'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ryland Michelle struck out. Wyatt Vincent at third base now, able to advance from first to third with 2 stolen bases during this at-bat. And that's what you want to see, is being able to move runners up. Try to force the Zizzers to make a throw here. The 2-2 is going to be a ball, so the count's going to even itself up. And Hoover might have just lost a little bit of confidence. Now he's got a run on third, so he's trying to keep this ball on the ground. He doesn't want to hit this one over the outfield's head, but Grant gets ready. The 3-2 is going to be a ball. And so Caden Cloud will put himself on for Jack Edwards.
Next up, number 17.
Edwards looking to have a little bit better luck. He popped out his first at-bat to end that first inning, but now he's got runners at the corners here with 2 outs. He's the designated hitter today. Garagoff behind the plate at catcher. Edwards with a Mark Teixeira stand, and they're going to send the runner. They didn't take the bait, though. Caden Cloud's able to get himself on with a stolen base. That eliminates the force out. But probably one of those things there is they would have tried to see if Tank Sims would have thrown to second base. In that case, Wyatt Vincent probably would have ran. But he decides not to throw, and so now they got the 1-0, and that one's going to fall in the dirt as well. So now it's a 2-0 count. Probably if Hoover had thrown that ball a little bit higher on that first pitch, they might have thought about trying to tag out Caden Cloud. But obviously it would have been a risky situation. So the 2-0 to Jack Edwards is lined on the third base side, bobbles it. He's going to have to make a tough play. Edwards, the throw. He gets him at first. Barrett had a tough time getting rid of that one, but is able to fire it to Riley Summers to retire the inning. But the Eagles get a run on no hits. They strain 2. We'll be right back. This game's tied as we head to the 4th inning. Tie game here as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Elijah Adams still on the mound in relief for Gavin Kranz. And that first pitch is going to fall in for a ball. Jaden Barrett, the 7th spot, will be 7, 8, 9 for the West Plains Zizzers. That one falls in for a ball, so it'll be 2-0. It'll be Barrett, Montgomery, and then Nathan Smith. Both 2 out of those 3 runners are able to advance in that second inning, but we're stranded as that one's going to be fouled off. So 2-1 count now. Trying to figure out what gets down here for this either side. We've only seen 2 hits from both teams. But it's been lots of walks as that one's going to be hit very shallow. Center fielder Vincent has to get his hand up to avoid the sun, but he's able to make the catch. So Barrett will have himself his second flyout of the game.
Now coming to plate, number 4, Landon Montgomery.
So Jaden Barrett now, he flied out. Landon Montgomery, the second baseman's able to come up. He walked in that last inning, and after Summers and Barrett got out, they had themselves a little bit of rally. Walked 2, got a base hit. So that one's going to fall back behind the screen. That'll make it an even 1-1 count now. Adams gets ready for the 2-1. And that one's going to be on the upper part of the strike zone, but it'll go down as a strike. The pitch just a little bit high, so Adams has to have his infield help him out there, but it'll be a 2-2 count now for Landon Montgomery. Stranded at third base in the second inning, and he gets ready for the 2-2 and pops that one back above our press box here. So we'll do a 2-2 count again. Adams, the righty, gets ready. He gets the pitch, he gets the set, and he swings and misses. As he gets Montgomery to swing a pitch on the upper part of the zone, but Montgomery wasn't able to get there, and 2 quick outs from the Zizzers, and that's kind of something we've seen the past 2 innings. Adams did a nice job of getting the first 2 guys out, stranded Nelson Hoover at second base after his double. And now so far here, he's been able to get the first 2 batters out in this inning, as that one's fouled down the right field side. Nathan Smith up to the plate, the designated hitter, got himself a single to extend that inning last. He advanced Montgomery to second base, but was ultimately stranded at second base. And Smith is ready for the 0-1. That one's going to be a ball. Adams has done a nice job here. We're kind of curious how many innings he's going to go today. Eagles with a doubleheader today. This game first started at about 2:30. It was supposed to start a little bit later than that, obviously, so we had to skip a lot of the pregame, national anthem introductions, those kind of things. Josiah Jenkins is the man with all the foul balls. He returns them back to the umpire. So Adams will get a little bit more time for this 1-1. And the 1-1 to Nathan Smith is going to be high for a ball, so that'll make it a 2-1 count. Zizzers 16-10 on the year, were able to beat Marshfield 12-6 in their game earlier today. Smith gets ready for the 2-1. He swings at an inside pitch, but that'll even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. Adams taking his time here. Says no to the first pitch, and then says yes to the second, gets ready. And that one's going to be a foul tip. That one's going to be strike 3. Elijah Adams does a nice job sending them down 1-2-3. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning here. This game's still tied, but the Eagles trying to take advantage for the first lead of the day. Welcome back here. Reese Dernberger gets ready for the first pitch in the bottom of the 4th inning. That one's going to fall in just a little bit low for a ball. It'll be Reese Dernberger, Tanner Grant, and Garrig Oaf. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Eagles, as that one's outside for a ball as well. And the 2-0 to Dernberger is going to drop off the hop. Today was a big day in St. Louis if you're a big Cardinals fan. Adam Wainwright, his final season in the majors, able to come back for his first game of the season. Didn't pitch all that well as Dernberger watches that one fall in for a strike. Wainwright against the Tigers went 5 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, didn't walk any, struck out 5. Cardinals currently hold a 5-4 lead. As Dernberger gets on with a walk to lead off the inning. And
now batting number 16, Tanner Grant.
Cardinals 10-13 on the year, and they made some news earlier today by moving to the outfield. He's playing designated hitter tonight. He won't be catching for a while. Andrew Kitzner will be behind the plate as Grant's going to have that one hit down Cole Shipley's area out in left field. Shipley hadn't had a whole lot go towards his direction, but Tanner Grant's able to get a base hit there, and that'll put runners at first and second here with nobody out for Garrick Oath.
Now coming to the plate, number 15, Garrick Oath.
Some speculation that Tyler O'Neill's going to be traded in the last year of his contract, and kind of had some controversy with Ollie Marble the first couple of weeks of the season when he said he didn't run out a full ball when he was coming into second base to score a run. Oath shows bunt, puts down a beauty. That's going to advance both runners, and they're not even going to make a throw. First baseman Riley Summers was pulling in to pick up the bunt. Landon Montgomery had to go from second base to first, but by the time he was there, Garrick Oath was down the line, so he'll get himself on a bunt. And after not getting a single hit through the first 3 innings in this one, the Eagles have been able to put back-to-back base hits on the board and load the bases with nobody out here. And Broden Mabe looking to put themselves ahead here. They scored a run in the third. They have 2 hits on the day, and Mabe sends that one hard but foul down the left field line. That one just over the Zizzers dugout over there. So Mabe has himself a loud strike 1, and now he gets set for the 1-0 and grounds that one to the first baseman. They're going to fire to home, and they're going to get the force out with Reese Dernberger at the plate. So that'll just move everybody else up off the fielder's choice.
Up next will be number 5, Colin Ussery.
And so Colin Ussery now comes up, bases loaded, 1 out. Kind of moves some runners in. Tanner Grant is at third. Garrick Oath at second. Broden Mabe at first. Ussery has some speed, so if he's able to put one down on that third base side, they might be able to try to do something with it here. That first pitch falls in for a ball on the outside. Just a little bit high. Ussery playing to attack here as he swings and misses for a strike. So it'll be a 1-1 count. Hughes confident about that swing, keeps telling him to keep attacking. That might be something that they mentioned in practice quite a lot, trying to get these hitters to swing. And the 1-2 is going to be fouled back. It's more of a changeup. He was probably expecting more of a speedier type pitch there, but got himself a bit of a slower one and was able to still make contact on that, but fouled it back to the screen. And now he's in a 1-2 hole now. Nelson Hoover trying to get out of this bases loaded, nobody out hole, and he grounds that one. They're going to try to flip 2. Ussery is going to have to run that one out, and he's safe. So Ussery is able to run out the first base. It will go as a fielder's choice, but it'll bring himself in an RBI, and the Eagles will now take themselves a 2-1 lead.
Now batting number 7, Wyatt Vincent.
Cooper, the shortstop, was trying to play a 6-4-3 there, but wasn't able to get to that one in time. As Ussery, like I mentioned, was able to outrun first base. And that'll put runners at the corners here with 1 out. They're going to try to get a pickoff attempt. Ussery's stuck. He's trying to stall. And now they're going to send him to the plate, and there's not going to be a throw. Really confusing play. Riley Summers wasn't ready for it. And now the umpires are going to meet up for whatever particular reason. Ussery was kind of stuck and just didn't move. And Riley Summers, really confused, just didn't throw the ball to Tank Sims behind the plate at catcher, which allowed the runners to score. Now the home plate umpire is going to walk up to Logan Hughes. We're going to see what's going on here. The play was they were trying to get the runners. We'll try to figure out what's going on. Home plate umpires talking to Hughes. We'll see what Hughes' facial expressions will be like here. They're shaking no, and now they're going to... So they're telling him to go to first. They're telling the runners to go back. So they're telling the runners to go back to the corners. Really odd play there. But Josiah Jenkins will go back to third base. Probably a situation where he ran during the setup, but that might, I'm not totally sure what happened there, but either way, runners will stay at the corners. And Wyatt Vincent will come up here on a 1-0 count. So runners will stay at the corners. Eagles hold a 2-1 lead. Jenkins at third. Sorry, the runners will go. They fired a third and safe. So they fired, instead of electing to go to second, they tried to get Jenkins, speedy Josiah Jenkins at third base, and that allows Colin Usery to advance to second base there. So now Vincent has a 2-0 count with runners at second and third, and Vincent watches that one fall in for a ball as well. Curious if they give him the green light here with runners at second and third. Vincent looking to get himself a good pitch here, and the 3-0 is going to drop in for a ball. And so Vincent will get himself on with a walk. And so that'll bring Rylan Michelle up. Michelle's looking to have himself a better day. Struck out swinging.
Rylan Michelle.
His last 2 times up to the plate, 0 for 2 in this game, and he's got the bases loaded with 2 outs now. Eagles hold a 2-1 lead. They have 2 hits in the inning. Both of those brought in a run as that pitch is outside for a ball. 2 hits in the game. Zizzers only have the 2. They had the Tank Simmons RBI double in that first inning, and then a weak single by Nathan Smith. Both sides with 2 hits, and Michelle's going to watch that one drop for a ball, so he's got himself a 2-0 count, and Nelson Hoover, the pitcher for the Zizzers, has to start swinging here. So Michelle has a 2-0 count. Hoover, the pitch, is going to be inside for a ball, and now he's got to throw a strike. No open base available. Josiah Jenkins in for Garagove. At first, Colin Usery at second, Wyatt Vincent. And that one's going to be a ball 4, and Michelle will draw himself an RBI walk. And the Eagles will add on 3-1 here, as Josiah Jenkins does, in fact, come in to score. After it looked like he might have scored earlier, and we're going to have our a manager's visit here, the first of the game. So they're going to meet just above the line, and Hoover thought about giving him the baseball, didn't realize that he wasn't probably going to be taken out of this game just yet. He gets ready, and now the entire infield will come in here. Bases loaded for the Eagles. They've scored 2 in this last inning. They've scored 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth here to take the 3-1 lead. It's only getting hotter today. 84 degrees is our high, and it's currently 84. My phone says it's windy, but there really has not been a whole lot of wind today. It's been very stuck in its ways here, and they will, in fact, it looks like that is Nelson Hoover's day. It looks like they're going to bring in the left fielder Cole Shipley to pitch, maybe. We'll be right back here in a minute. Eagles have the bases loaded with 2 outs and trying to strike for more, up 3-1. This is Nixa Live Productions. My name is Eli Dean, and we'll be right back.
All right, we're back. 2 minutes. 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 2
Caden Cloud getting his chance here with the bases loaded. Colin Ustery on third, Wyatt Vincent on second, and Rylan Michelle with an RBI walk. Eagles up 3-1 here. We have ourselves a new pitcher. The left fielder, Cole Shipley, comes into play. I'll let you know who's in left field as that one nearly hits Caden Cloud for the second time today. This camera keeps moving over. My apologies. Not trying to bang it. Bases loaded here, and that one's inside, and that one hits him. So 2 pitches into the game. The left fielder, Cole Shipley, hits Caden Cloud, but that'll bring in another run. And the Eagles off of that will take a 4-1 lead here in the 4th inning.
Jack Edwards.
And so Jack Edwards, who could do some real damage here with 2 outs, try to put this game out of the way. Nelson Hoover did a nice job earlier in this one, limiting the damage. Hadn't given up a hit through this inning, but then did so early, and Cole Shipley throws that one outside for a ball. Jack Edwards trying to swing, but if Shipley doesn't give him something to swing at, he won't swing, and that one drops in the dirt for a ball. So it'll be a 2-0 count to Jack Edwards here. Edwards looking to something to swing at, meatball, and that one falls inside for a ball. That one could have been crushed. That one was a Zach Greinke type of pitch there. Zach Greinke throws a lot of ephus pitches, and the 3-0, that one is low. And that one's a strike. Or no? Umpire signaled something there, and now they're going to take him out of the game immediately. So they take him out, and now I'm just so confused. They went with him for 2 batters. He hit a guy, couldn't throw a single pitch. They do kind of hug him. So maybe that was a situation where you bring in a senior to pitch at least one time in a game. But nevertheless, Cole Shipley going back to left field, and someone else will warm up here with the Eagles up 5-1. They've scored 4 in this 4th inning. After walking 2, we'll figure out who the new pitcher is, but we will be right back. So Reese Dernberger will come up to the plate. They brought in a different outfielder, Ryan Kinslow now, and he falls that one in for a strike. Kinslow, the center fielder. Cole Shipley had 2 batters, hit 1 and walked the other. He's responsible for the runners on 2nd and 3rd, and Dernberger lines that one, and that one's going to drop. They're going to send 2. And the Eagles will take another extended lead. They'll take a 7-1 lead as Reese Dernberger powers one in there for a 2-run single. That brought in Caden Cloud and Rylan Michelle.
Up next is number 16, Tanner Grant.
And so Tanner Grant now 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a groundouts, looking to extend this lead for the Eagles. They put up 6 runs in the fourth, 7 unanswered, and really just doing damage here. And the first pitch to Grant is going to be a ball. I'm still kind of curious about why they decided to bring in Cole Shipley. Shipley went back to left field after that. But he clearly wasn't a pitcher, and they brought in a pitcher in a game where they could have gotten out of this inning. And, I mean, you bring him, 4 runs, or it was 3-1 when they brought him in. And I just have to wonder what the thinking was by the West Plains manager. But nevertheless, the Eagles will take it. They're up 7-1 here in the 4th inning. And that one's a ball as well, so it'll be a 3-0 count now to Tanner Grant. So the 3-0 with 2 outs, runners at first and second. Grant watches that one fall in for a strike. Grant, doesn't seem like any of these hitters would have a green light, but especially in this situation with 2 outs, you don't want to give them anything here. And the 3-1 to Grant is lined, and that one is shallow. That one is high. That ball is far, and that ball is gone. Tanner Grant with a 3-run blast here to open this game wide open for the Eagles. And they score 3 on that one. They've scored 8 in the inning, and they will take a 9-1 lead here. He hit that one straight away center. This looks like somebody walking their dog has to grab that one over by the house out in left field. That one was crushed as they do a little tap. And the Eagles will take a 10-1 lead here in this 4th inning.
Now batting number 15, Garrick Oath.
And Garrick Oath will get himself another chance here. Joplin looks like they'd be keeping this game close, but a 9-run inning by the Eagles have really put this one out of reach. And now with another run, the Eagles would have themselves a situation to get this one over in 5. It didn't look possible coming into this inning, but they've really exploded out with offense, and really all this offense, and they've only had 3 hits in this inning and 3 hits on the day as Oaf pops that one up. Catcher and the pitcher are under it. They got to reach for the sun, but Kenslow makes the catch. But the Eagles bat around the order. They score 9 in the 4th, and they'll take a 10-1 lead here in the 5th inning. We'll be right back from Marshfield. Welcome back. Eagles up 10-1 here in the 5th inning. You wouldn't believe it, but those 10 runs scored on just 3 Eagles hits as the first pitch there falls in for a strike. Elijah Adams still on the mound, and I wouldn't have thought going into his last inning, but he's in an opportunity to shut this door down. So that one is a ball. Top of the lineup, Peyton Cooper leading it off here. 1, 2, 3, and that one swung on and missed for strike 2. Cooper. It'll be Cooper, Shipley, and Tank Sims. And that one's going to be popped up foul. So it'll be a 1-2 count once again. Eagles hadn't got a hit in the last inning, but they brought in 9 runs on 4 hits. 3 hits in the 4th, excuse me. And that 1-2 is lined through the hole, through a diving glove of Caden Cloud. And so Peyton Cooper will have himself a base hit here.
Up next for the Scissors, number 7, Hunter Roberts.
Cole Shipley anymore, so kind of just a little bit confused here, but we'll have number 7, Hunter Roberts, coming into the game. Pinch hitting for Shipley, so Shipley's day is done. He went off one, but when you use him as a pitcher, they decide not to bring him back in the outfield. And the first pitch to him is going to be outside. They're going to call it a strike. So it'll be an 0-1 count. Hunter Roberts now. Hughes trying to set him up for a ground ball. And Roberts, Adams thought about throwing that ball, but runner at first, Cooper, was looking like he might be going, but he decided not to. And the 0-1 drops in for a ball. So the 1-1, Cooper on first base. Scissors down 9-1. That one's going to ground, but foul. So it'll be a 1-2 count now. Nobody out. And the 1-2 is another one hit sharply down third base side. Nice play by the Scissors third base coach. He fires that one back in to Adams. As I mentioned, Eagles up 10-1. They were able to really power through, and that showed force when Tanner Grant hit one to the houses. Hit one out of this ballpark, hit it over the street, and just clobbered that one. I mean, that one easily probably went close to about 370, which is, 370, 380 maybe, close to even 400. That one falls in for a ball to even the count at 2-2 now. As I can't much pan over, but that house is a pretty nice house, so if Tanner Grant hit a window in that house, then hopefully insurance pays for it. And another one fouled down the third base side. So we'll do the 2-2 count here again. Hunter Roberts, I would assume, takes over for Cole Shipley in left field. Defensive positions have been kind of all over the place today. They brought in their center fielder as well, so maybe they moved Shipley to center and brought him back in. Adams thinks about throwing to first base, but decides not to. And so now the 2-2 is going to be laid off for a ball, so that'll even the count now. Eagles up 10-1. Scissors just trying to make this game stick alive. If the Scissors don't score a run and the Eagles score a run in that 5th inning, it would be an 11-1 walk-off in 5, as that one swung on and missed, and Hunter Roberts will go down swinging. And so Adams will have himself another strikeout here. He's had a really nice, effective game so far. 3 Ks in this one. It's mostly been those bottom-type hitters. But Tank Sims, who is the man responsible for the only runs for the Scissors so far. We've kind of seen a pattern here of back-to-back games where the Eagles give up that opening run as the home team, but are able to score a run. As that one's handed away straight away center field, Vincent is going to have to carry. He's going to have to go, and that one's off the wall. Vincent tumbles over, and they're going to say a ground rule double. Kind of a weird play. That one hit off the top of the wall. Looks like that ball, or no, they're going to call it a home run, it looks like. Kind of probably, tough play to figure out exactly what was going on there. But Tank Sims will have himself a 2-run shot to give the Zizzers just a little bit more hope here. That one hit straight away, so Tank Sims definitely has himself a tank. He hits that one straight away. Vincent struggled kind of grabbing that one.
Now batting number 2, Riley Kinslow.
Maybe he had it in his glove and it fell out of his glove. I'm not totally sure, but nevertheless, the Zizzers will cut to the Eagles' lead as it's now 10-3. And the first, Riley Kinslow, and he's going to drop it. They're going to call that one a foul ball, though. It was popped up. It seems like the sun is becoming a really big factor. There is no, there's no wind, there's no clouds. There's nothing really out here, but to really take the ball off. So if you think Vincent out in center field is going to have to travel a lot, we've seen a lot of those pop-flies. Him kind of struggling with the sun, and when you're trying to track a baseball, that's kind of tough. As that one's going to be lined, and that one is going to be a fair ball down the base, down that first base line. They're going to send the runner. Dernberger's going to have to make a tough throw, but it's not going to be in time. And Ryan Kinslow will have himself a double. So after they had a stalled offensive day for the Zizzers, 2 runs here, and now a runner at second base with 1 out. And while they trail by 7 in this one, they might be able to build a little bit of momentum here. And they're going to so Nelson Hoover, who was the pitcher in this one, it'll be J.R. Free who comes into play. Get some confirmation here. Yeah, it's number 5, J.R. Free, will come in to bat out of the 5 spot. And he'll come up with a runner on second base. That one pops in for a ball, so it's a 1-1 count. So J.R. Free wagging that bat a little bit. We haven't seen much of a bat wag. But that one falls in. And so it'll be a 2-0 count. West Plains fans getting a little bit more vocal here. Although they trail by 7, they have a little bit of life here in the top of the 5th inning. As that one's going to be lined, and that one will drop for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third base. Or no, they're going to send him. And he's going to, it's going to be a play at the plate. They're going to send him, but they're going to get the runner out at second base more than likely. They will get the runner out at second. J.R. Free tagged out at second base, but he does get in an RBI. Looks like they were going to hold him. But Kinslow decided to keep on running.
Now batting number 31.
And so the Zizzers will make it a 4-10 game now. So Huber will get himself an RBI single, but get out. And so with 2 outs in the inning, West Plains has put up 3 runs. So Riley Summers, the first baseman, 0 for 2 in this one so far, coming up with nobody on base. And while the Zizzers have put up 3 runs here, like I mentioned, trailing by 6.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's kind of crazy that the Zizzers have more runs than the Eagles do have hits. Eagles only have 3 hits in this one, but have been able to produce 10 runs out of it. And that one drops in for a ball to make it a 1-0 count. But still, the Eagles doing what they can, taking pace to a whole new level here, up 10-4. Adams gets set for the 1-0 and fires to Summers. And that one's going to be straight away center. Vincent's going to have to get under that one. He makes the catch and gets a little bit of sun in his face, but is able to retire that inning. So Summers flies out, but the home run by Tank Sims and an RBI single by J.R. Free put the Zizzers back into this one. Eagles still hold a 10-4 lead. We'll be right back. First pitch to Broden Mabe is inside for a ball, so it'll be a 1-0 count now. We're getting some air conditioning here. It's been a pretty high heated affair. Mabe swings and fouls that one back for 1-1. Wyatt Vincent, batter in the hole, comes picking that one up. Eagles tacked on 9 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning to take a 10-1 lead. And that one's popped up down the first base side. Gonna be a tough play for Sims, and he makes the catch. Nice play there by Riley Summers there to make the catch out of the first base in foul territory. So that'll retire Broden.
Colin Ussery.
So Colin Ussery coming up to the plate. Ussery has had himself a kind of interesting day. Brought in the tying runner at third base with the fielder's choice. But gets himself another chance here. Eagles, like I mentioned, tacked on 10 unanswered runs to take a 10-1 lead. West Plains Scissors were able to get 3 in that 5th inning to make it a 10-4 game, making it a little bit difficult for the Eagles to get this game over with through 5, but that one's up and away for a ball, so it'll be a 2-0 count. So the 2-0. Check swing, but he did go around. So it'll be a 2-1 now to Ussery as that one drops in outside for a ball for a 3-1. So 3-1 count now to Ussery out of the 9 spot. Wyatt Vincent on deck. And that one's high for a ball, so Colin Ussery is able to advance on a walk. We've seen quite a lot of walks today from both sides.
Now batting number 7, Wyatt Vincent.
7 total walks by this Nixa offense, which is a big part of the reason why after only 3 hits they've been able to score a lot of these runs. Wyatt Vincent, even with getting out on a fielder's choice earlier in the game, was able to advance from first to third, which really just extended this game as Vincent fouls that one back for an 0-1 count. He does swing at the first pitch there. He hadn't done a whole lot of that in this game. Most games so far, he's been one of those kind of hitters to swing at that first pitch. But teams are kind of recognizing that and not giving him something to hit on that first pitch. So he's had a really good plate discipline here as that one is high to even the count now. So it'll be a 1-1 count here with 1 out and a runner on first base. And the 1-1 is swung on and missed. Outside portion. This camera keeps moving over a little bit. I'm not trying to move it around. We got kind of a thin little table here, but we're making it work. Vincent watches that 1-2 go high. So it'll even the count once again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eagles up 10-4 so far in this one over the West Plains Scissors. They'll play after this game against Marshfield. As that one's high, and that'll clear the count full. This game just reaching over about an hour and a half. This game started around close to 2:30. But 3-2 to Vincent. Runner goes. It'll be a ball. So Colin Ussery was running anyways, but Vincent will add on with yet another walk. It's his second walk of the game. The 8th walk for this team. And if you look at it, look at the lineup card, the top 5 hitters on this team have been the big walk getters. And every single hitter but Tanner Grant and Garrett Oaf have been able to produce a walk so far. And so Michelle will watch that one drop in, making a 1-0 count. Michelle has runners at first and second with 1 out. Eagles trying to tack on here. If they score 4, they win it. And Michelle fouls that one back, so it'll make it a first pitch strike here. Rylan Kinslow still on the mound, I believe, for the Scissors. So the 0-1 to Michelle. Runners will go, and that one's going to be inside. They're going to make the throw to third base, and it's not going to be in time. West Plains fans didn't like that one, but it'll be a double steal for Colin Ussery and Rylan Michelle. Excuse me, Wyatt Vincent. Rylan Michelle's at the plate. But that stolen base represents Colin Ustery's second of the game and Wyatt Vincent's third of the game. So they're definitely filling up the stat sheet here with the Eagles up 10-4. And Michelle sends that one shallow. Is that going to be enough? That one's going to drop in front of the left fielder, Cole Shipley. Now, Coach Shipley's not in the game, but that will advance the runners to second and third. And so that'll bring in another run. The Eagles will take an 11-4 lead. I'll figure out who that... It'll be, yes, Hunter Roberts, the new left fielder. So they did keep the positions in. Roberts got out in that last inning, so they bring in Roberts to play left field, but that ball just dropped in front of him. He might have been able to catch it, and a lot of the hitters there. Michelle able to advance on the single, so he's able to advance to second base, and now Michelle's at second, and Wyatt Vincent at third. And that ball is going to be fouled down the third base line over by the West Plains dugout. Caden Cloud representing the winning run here. He had a 3-run home run in that last inning. And if he does so here, this game's over. Be certainly a way to win one, but Riley Kinslow recognizing what he can't throw to Tanner Grant here. The 0-1 to Grant is going to be outside for a ball, so it'll even the count. We've seen lots of even counts here in this inning. For the Eagles, they've just really done a good job at putting the ball in play when they need to. And the 1-1 to Grant is going to be low for a ball. Caden Cloud. I don't know why I keep saying that. Caden Cloud now up to the plate. Cloud's got himself a 2-1 here. Cloud watches that one drop as well for a 3-1, so maybe part of it is just to bring Jack Edwards up with the bases loaded, but I don't know if that's a smart job here. They do have that extra runner, but the 3-run to Cloud's going to be inside, and that one's going to be a wild pitch, and that one's going to score Vincent. They're going to advance Rylan Michelle, so off the wild pitch ball, they're able to advance the runners, and it'll increase this Nixa lead to 12-4. Rylan Michelle's able to advance to third on that play. Caden Cloud at first. And Jack Edwards comes up. He's had himself a so-so day. 0 for 2 in this one, but brought in a bases-loaded walk. He's looking to get himself on base here. Pickoff attempts. There's nothing going to be doing, though. Michelle thinking about running, but elects not to. So the Eagles up 12-4. The winning run at first base. And the first pitch is going to be high and away for a ball. West Plains got on the board first in that first inning with a run. And the Eagles hadn't got a hit through the first 3 innings. Even though they had scored a run, they tied this game up. It was 1-1 going into the 4th inning. And then the Nixa offense exploded with 9 runs in the 4th. And they've tacked on 2 here in the 5th to make it a 12-4 game. The 1-0, Jack is outside. Ooh, I'll call that one a strike on that outside corner. It's kind of tough to see a little bit, but nevertheless, a 1-1 count to Jack Edwards. 1 out, runners on first and third, and that one's going to fall in for a ball. Edwards takes a few warm-up swings, now gets back into the box. His front foot out towards the corner of that box, and he sends that one high. That might be enough to advance the runner at least. That one's high. That ball is going to drop right in front of the wall. They're going to score 1. They're sending a second, and the Nixa Eagles will take a 14-4 walk-off win. Or no? And they're going to confirm that's the game. The Eagles. Jack Edwards brings himself in with a 2-run double. And out of the mercy rule, the Nixa Eagles will win this one 14-4. They produce offense when they need to, and they get themselves another great win. So Joplin will split the series in Marshfield. They'll get themselves a 16-11 on the year, and the Eagles win in their 31st game of the year. They'll win it, so they'll improve to 27-4 on the year. They win it 14-4 here in Marshfield, and we'll step aside for a little bit before the start of this game against Marshfield. Eagles hit the ball when it mattered, and they did so a way that made it most. They score 4 in the 5th inning, and that big 9-run 4th inning couldn't have been possible without Tanner Grant's 3-run blast. And this inning, that inning could have ended a lot sooner, but with 2 outs in the inning, they were able to work the counts full. They were able to put pressure on the pitchers. Pressure on the pitchers. A little bit of a tongue twister here, but I'm going to step aside. My name is Eli Dean. We'll be back here in a little bit for this game against Marshfield. Eagles will be the road team, so they're going to move over to the other dugout. And so the Eagles win the first game of this doubleheader 14-4 over the Joplin Scissors. We wish them the best of luck in their travels on the way home. And we will be right back here with Nixa Live Productions. That's Eli Dean. Have a good day, everyone. figure this thing out. Now it's not working all of a sudden.
Actually, Andrew, that's a Pistons. It's a couple of batteries in the first game. So I'm kind of surprised to see him starting.
Still trying to figure this one out here. We got ourselves a second doubleheader. We had a weird hotspot issue. I'm using my phone for this because we left some few pieces of equipment up at the high school. And since it's a Saturday, no one was up there to pick them up from the soccer stadium. So, second game, my phone didn't really connect there. And we got ourselves already a great start here. White, as I mentioned, hit a solo home run just over the top of the left field wall to lead off this game. So Ryland Michelle will get a crack at it against the Marshfield Blue Jays.
Use everyone in the first game?
Give you a line of cards here in a second. We're still trying to figure everything out. That was too much of a. So after the home run by Watkins and just straightaway center, we had
Up
to
next,
straightaway
number
left
3,
field.
shortstop.
Hit it
Katie
just
Cloud.
over that fence, probably around that 34 sign. If you guys see that hole over on the left side of your view. Third left fielder had a little bit of a struggle trying to get to it, but couldn't get to it. It might have taken a weird hop or something like that. Probably went off his glove, and he hit the ball pretty hard on that one. So wishing him all the best. But he stayed in the game over there. Eagles, like I mentioned, were able to get a 14-4 win against the Scissors. Now get ready here to have themselves a chance to keep this game open. First pitch to Caden Cloud is going to drop, and it's going to bounce all the way back to the backstop. So that will advance Ryland Michelle to second base. Again, sorry about the delay. A few issues to figure out, but the Eagles have a 1-0 lead here. And that one is high, but Cloud is able to escape it, so it'll be a 3-0 count. Temperatures today were pretty hot. These hitters, if you're having to, like I mentioned, they were in the visitors' dugout for a little bit, moved over to the roadside, and they probably enjoyed a little bit more as visitors' dugout has all the shade right now that you can ask for, so a little bit cooler now on the Nixa side as it was in that first game. That pitch falls in for a strike, and Cloud pops that one to the first base side. That one will get out of play. That boy had to, there wasn't much he could do there, but it lands right in front of where that dugout starts. Ducking cover sometimes is the best way to do it, but Cloud will get himself a 3-2 now. Eagles didn't use a whole lot of offense in that last game. If you think 14 hits, a lot of it was plate discipline. They watched 9 batters in that last game. The plate discipline was incredible. That allowed them to get extra runners on base. That one's hit straightaway center, and that one is going to drop right in front of the wall. And that one's going to be a ground rule double that will score Ryland Michelle from second base. And so the Eagles will have themselves a 2-0 lead here off the Caden Cloud RBI double. Eagles already showing a lot of offense here. They kind of started a slow start. They scored a run in that third inning to tie it, and then put up 9 in the fourth on only just 3 hits, including a 3-run home run in that one. So it'll be Jack Edwards out of the fourth stop, and he's behind the plate for this one. Garagoff had the DH spot in that last game. He checks swing, the ball drops, and they're going to try to make a tough play to third, but it's not going to be in time, so Caden Cloud will have himself a stolen base. And with nobody out here in the inning, and the first 3 batters reaching on base, this could get out of hand quickly for the Blue Jays pitcher. We're on third, nobody out in that first pitch. Well, second pitch, falls in for an inside strike. So Edwards is under a 2 count now.
You gonna be glad when baseball season's over?
Pardon?
Are you gonna be glad when baseball season's over?
I think so.
You're gonna turn it in next year?
Edwards waiting for a a chance here. Gets set, ready for the 0-2, and that one's inside for a ball, so it'll stay alive now with the 1-2 count.
That's all he does.
So holds a 2-0 lead if you're just now tuning into this second game in Marshfield.
And this one isn't your favorite one to do.
We got a 9-2 in neutral site games. Count for that West Plains game, and that one's way outside. Catcher has to make a nice little play to grab that one. They're leaving the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Edwards just trying to continue and keep the train moving for Reese Dernberger, who's on deck. Edwards gets set for the 2-2, and that one's going to fall through the hole. It'll be an RBI single. The Eagles will put up their 3rd run here in the 1st inning as they get ready to keep this train moving.
You just want to do, you know.
Now Reese Dernberger comes up to the plate.
You know, I'll give you first.
Dernberger, second base instead of out in right field. Mason Eagleberger will be the right fielder today. Looks like Broad made
Now batting number
scratched
14, Reese Dernberger.
On the lineup card, they have Mabe and scratched out for Eagleberger. Dernberger on decks, Tanner Grant. Tanner Grant had a really nice first game in the pickoff attempt. They won't get a tag over there. Eagles up 3-0 here. They've got on base each of the past 4 batters, including 3 hits and 7 base. On the first pitch, runner does go. Catcher isn't able to make a play, and Josiah Jenkins will have himself a stolen base here. Josiah Jenkins recently got an academic letter, all 4 years, so he got a nice little plaque, so congratulations to him. And that ceremony yesterday for all the seniors. That one drops as well for a ball, and it's 2-0. Dernberger just waiting for a chance here. Blue Jays pitcher hasn't thrown a whole lot of strikes here, and the 2-0's outside again for a ball. Hey, what's their pitcher's name?
This is Andrew Beckner.
Beckner? Hendrick Beckner?
Andrew.
Andrew. Pitcher for the Blue Jays, Andrew Beckner, gets ready for a 3-0 and finally gets his strike in. Throwing strikes is going to be really important here. And as much as the Eagles enjoy being on that opposite side, the fans do as well. Fans who travel all the way to Marshfield, you know, there as that one's high, popped up into the infield. Second baseman, shortstop, communicating, and the shortstop drifts over the second base sign to retire Reese Dernberger. So that'll bring up
next,
Tanner Grant.
Number 16, first baseman, Tanner Grant.
And Grant at first base again today.
Isn't that what March Christian usually does?
Yeah, and that's Tyler Massey at second. I think that's Tyce Jones.
So Tanner Grant will give himself a chance here. Grant had a big home run earlier in that first game that extended this game wide open. It was the 7th, 8th, and 9th runs of that inning. That just kind of put the gas on the door. West Plains didn't have a whole lot of motions. That one's going to be grounded. Nice play. They're not going to. It's going to be a tough play, and he's going to be out at first base on the ground out. And so now Nate Uber, the designated hitter, will come up to the plate for the Eagles. Uber getting a little bit more time in every so often. He gets his chance here in this doubleheader. Mason Eagleberger, this inning does get extended. Jenkins is at third base now. So the first pitch to Uber is going to be swung on, and it's going to be a diving stop. But no, he's going to miss the ball. And Nate Uber will have himself an RBI single. That ball probably would have advanced in front of him anyways. Right fielder just tried to make a little bit of a play, got to his knees, but wasn't able to come up with it cleanly. And so Nate Uber will give the Eagles their 4th run at the top of the first inning. And now to bring up Mason Eagleberger now. Eagleberger out of the 8th spot will get himself a chance with 2 outs. It was the 2 outs. That's what was the biggest thing with 2 outs in an inning. It's really what fueled this game in that last one. And part of that 9-run inning was just the 2-out damage. They scored 7 of those runs with 2 outs. So they're going to want to obviously continue that here as they're able to get a run in the first inning out of 2 outs. They lead 4-0 here. 4 hits, and Eagleburger sends that one down. That one's going to drop off the left field wall. They're going to advance all the runners, and they're going to send Nate Uber all the way from first. The throw's going to come in, and it's going to be not in time. And Mason Eagleburger will have himself an RBI double. And the Eagles will get their 5th run here in the first inning.
Now batting
Now
number 12, Broden Mead.
They're going to bat all the way around. Broden May will come up. No, wait. Yeah, Broden May will bat 9th. And moved him from one of the top spots in the lineup down to the bottom, but that's all right. We're going to have a first little manager's visit here. 5 runs in the first inning off of 2 outs, and it looks like they're going to send him his day. So they're going to bring in a new pitcher here. Maybe that'll give me a chance to let you know what the Marshfield defensive positioning is.
Tyler Medlock.
So we will be right back. Eagles off to another great start here, up 5 runs in the first inning. As we get Broden May up to the plate, we'll be right back.
Tell Jared that this air conditioner needs to.
Breathe a little bit.
Warming up on the mound for the Marshfield Blue Jays, number 14, Tyler Medlock.
Turn the fan on. Is that what you're
Yeah, what's that?
Set it blue to the fan.
No, I think it will blow it out. Like, the
Swing
cool
it.
air and. Whew, maybe not that fast. I think that might get some of that cool air. Air's not that bad, but the fan's ready for this, so I guess that's the purpose of it.
Maybe that helps with the hers.
Yep, we're about to find out.
I can already feel it, so it's good.
You can feel it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's already doing its
There
purpose.
has to be a reason that the fan is hanging from the ceiling over there. And that looks like it. Get some of that cold air moving across this place.
Oops, sorry. Sorry, you're good. Just so I have that. I was able to make do with that. We had weird hotspot issues, so welcome back. Broden May getting his chance here. Eagles have already put up 5 runs in this first inning, taking out his starting pitcher, Tyler Medlock, the new pitcher for Marshfield. May watches that one falling for a strike. This game started off really well. Unfortunately, none of you Nixa Live viewers were able to see it. We had a little bit of technical difficulties getting into this first game. Solo home run from Wyatt Benson that barely went over the wall in left field. As that one is crushed, that one is going to be just right in front of the warning track. Left fielder's going to have to make a play on it, and he will to retire the inning. That ball went very high up in the air, but just not enough carry. There really isn't a whole lot of winds today either, so that ball isn't traveling. It's pretty flat. And so Broden May gets out on a long one as the 9-hitter, but the Eagles bat around for 5 runs in the first inning. And Alex Thompson's going to be on the mound for the Eagles, trying to shut down this Marshfield offense and keep making sure that those 5 runs are enough. We'll be right back. Eagles up 5-0.
You said 28 is Nate Cooper.
Yeah,
And what's his position?
he's the designated hitter.
DH. So what's Jack? Leading off for the men in blue will be number 5, Carter James.
Alex Thompson on the mound for the Eagles. Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning, Eagles up 5-0.
Catching today.
Carter James, the catcher, leads it off here for the Blue Jays.
This would be a hot day, but you're catching 2 games.
Yeah, true.
Baseball is such a freedom.
And if this game gets out of hand quickly, we might just start the stream. I'm running all of the service through my phone right now, and I just got a notification that I'm running extremely low on my hotspot. I've been using my hotspot this whole time, and I never use it, but it's ran 90% of my hotspot. And then I have unlimited data, just no unlimited hotspot here, which is a little bit unfortunate, but if this game does get out of hand, we will probably shut the stream down. I might come back to it later if this game gets close, but we'll let you know as Carter James strikes out swing. Sorry about all that, guys. We've had a pretty good day so far. The Eagles were able to win the first one in dominant fashion, and then we're able to score 5 in this first inning, which really just puts this game, I would almost say, out of reach. So what I might do is at the end of this inning, if Marshfield doesn't score any runs, I might step aside. If this game gets close, if Marshfield cuts it probably within 2 runs, I might come back. But I obviously don't want to pay like $20 more than I normally do on my phone bill. And that one's going to take a weird hop. Bounce in. The batter up next for Marshfield. I might as well just give you the full lineup here if I'm going to be stepping away. So we got Carter James at catcher, Carson Adams at third, Wyatt Brockman is on deck at the DH spot, Henry Bergstresser at first, Hunter Fryman at short, and we got Tommy Minute, I'm going to say Tommy Minute at center field, Easton Author at right field, Kyler Massey at second, Tice Jones at left, and Andrew Beckner was the pitcher, and now it is not Henry. We got taken out of the game. Tyler Medlock is now the pitcher. And so that will walk. So Carson Adams is now on base with a walk.
Now batting number 17, Wyatt Brockman. His wife is the DH. You're right. Easton Arthur is over there. Thompson is still there. This would be
Thompson has ball one now. That one falls in first strike as well. I'm just trying to make sure that everything's going to be okay the rest of the way. So Nixa up 5-0. They were able to have all 9 hitters come up to the plate. And that one's going to be fouled back for strike 2. So it'll be a 1-2 count now to their number 2 hitter. Blue Jays came in losing their first game of the day. Played a couple hours ago, East West Plains. And that pitch is going to be high for a ball even count now. Tigers did hold on to beat the Cardinals. Cardinals drop another one. They're now 14 games back at 500. Tigers were able to win that one in 10 innings, 6-5. Giovanni Gallegos picked up his second loss of the season. That one's going to drop in for a ball, so now the count is full with 1 out here. Thompson gets set, and the 3-2 to Adams is going to be the line. It's going to drop for a base hit. They're going to hold the runners at first and second. So Carson Adams will get after the walk by Adams.
Coming to the plate, number 26, Henry Bergstresser.
Henry Bergstresser now coming up, the first baseman. And from the left side, will get ready here. the second for Blue Jays, 1 out.
You wanna do it?
The first pitch is going to be lined. That one's going to drop, and they're going to... No, they won't. They might have ended up, but they got him out on the first out. Really weird play. Third base coach was sending Carson Adams full steam ahead, but that ball somehow was able to stay in the infield. Nice grab there by the Nixa shortstop.
Now batting
Caden Cloud was able to make a nice play and then get the force out at third. So there's 2 outs in the inning. Brockman is in second, Bert Stresser at first after the fielder's choice. Nixa still holds a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. They're able to bat around in that first inning, which you don't often see. Wyatt Vincent had a solo home run in that inning. And the first pitch to Hunter Fryman is going to drop in there for a strike. Thompson feeling a little bit more confident in himself. Gives himself a little bit more time.
Or open it up next year, or...
Get ready. Thompson checking back on the runner on second, and the 0-1 is going to be swung on, and that one is not going to drop. Not by the right fielder today, Mason Eagleberger taking. We'll be back if anything gets close. My name is Eli Dean, and if this game does get out of hand, my apologies, but I'm going to be signing off for now. Hit for Marshfield. Marshfield trying to hold on. If they do, we'll be back. If not, I might be paying an extra $20 on my bill, but that's all right. We'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your night.
Well, it's good to meet you.
Yeah, of course. I'll be back closing everything up probably later. I've got yearbook stuff too, so I'll probably be down there taking photos and stuff. So, yeah.
Is this just an expectation for a class, or do they pay you to do this?
No, so this is a class. I'm not in the class, so I'm just doing this because I like it.
Because
So,
you love it.
yes.
This is what you want to do forever?
I'm going into journalism. This